Potter County Sheriff's Office arrest report. PSO 16-08831. APD arrest. Prisoner Jackson Jason Jamal. Race B, Sex M, FN. Caution. Address 5310 Arlington Avenue, Los Angeles, California. Zip code 9001. 323-204-8603. Date of birth July 26, 1987. Age at the time, 28. We probably going to blank out the social security number. I don't want to put that on there, and I don't want to put his driver's license on there. But the state of California has a C-type license, which means regular car. He's 5'11", 165 pounds, hair black, facial no, eye black, skin mead, build slim, glasses no, cash yes. City of birth, Los Angeles. State, California. Citizen, U.S. Marital status, single. Place of arrest, U.S. Highway 140, MM 61, Beat W. Arrest date, June 28, 2016. Arrest time, 11/11. Arresting officer, Gwen, 1521. Complaint, PCSO. Victim notification, no. Employer, self-employed. Association, next of kin, Jackson Fennell Lisa. Mother. Birth date, February 6, 1957. Address, 2919 West 103rd Street, Gardena, California, 9001. Phone number 310-717-3685. Scars, marks, tattoos, etc. Scars, marks, tattoos, description. Tat, L forearm, California. Tat, R forearm, Vans. Tat, stomach, skull. Tat, forehead, OG. Tat, face, grapes. Tat, face, living legend. Alias, Ricky Tan. Do you consider the inmate to be suicidal? No. Charges, arrest code, description, class, and jurisdiction. Now pay attention to the arrest codes. 3599-0018. Possession, CSPG, 400 grams, class, felony. Arrest code 5203-0024. Unlawful possession, firearm by felon, class F3. More charges on the back. Reviewed by blank. I, the undersigned of faint, do solemnly swear that I have good reason or knowledge that the above named individual committed the following facts, which led me to believe that the offenses listed above were being or had been committed. Fact of arrest. Above subject was a passenger in a vehicle that confirmed a traffic offense on a public highway. The odor of marijuana was emitting from the vehicle upon contact. The driver did not have a valid driver's license. A search was conducted on the vehicle, and in the trunk, concealed in a pampered diaper box, was a large amount of crystal rocks believed to be methamphetamine. Subject was arrested in vehicle, was further searched in a safer location. The search revealed 2 stolen pistols and the center console of the car within reach of both occupants in the truck. Where the narcotics was located had clothing and mail with the above subject name on it. The above subject showed to be a convicted felon. Right index fingerprint, more narrative on back, signature of arresting officer. Additional scars, marks, tattoos, etc. Scars, mark, tattoos, description. Scars, marks, tattoos, description. Additional charges, arrest code, description, class, juris. Additional suicidal details. Why do you consider this individual to be suicidal? Statements, actions, others, comments. Facts of arrest continued. Blank. Duty report for incident 16-08831. Narrative. A vehicle was observed committing a traffic violation on a public highway. Upon contact with 2 occupants, a strong odor of burned marijuana was emitting from the vehicle. A search of the vehicle turned up 4.2 lbs of methamphetamine and 2 stolen guns. See report for further. Responsible LEO, approved by date. Supplement, CAD call info/comments. Gray Centra, Scott, Justin, Guy 52990, CA, BM, Jackson, Jason Jamal, 72687, California, D6173359, BM 105101, 6/28/2016. O'Brien J, clear locals. 11:03, 6 seconds, 6/28/2016. O'Brien J from Gwen T. Starting search. 11:06, 41 seconds, 06/28/2016. Montgomery L from Gwen T. I'm going to go ahead and skip this part, but basically what they're doing is they're giving you the codes of how it happened. So basically he pulls them over at 10:51. Then he starts to search the car. Then within almost, let's say about 20 minutes, he says, I have two at gunpoint. And now with Montgomery pulling up, 2-0, we have him in custody. And that's at 11:11:31. Then at 11:11:31 with 27 seconds, Gwen T59 subject Scott in my vehicle. Parker will have Jackson Breyer with his vehicle to C12. Montgomery L. Gwen. So basically, they're just talking about their arrests. Let's move on. Supplement. Potter County Sheriff's Office narrative. On June 28, 2016, I was assigned to regular traffic enforcement with the Potter County Sheriff's Office, marked Unit 2172. At approximately 10:47 a.m., I was traveling eastbound on U.S. Highway I-40, approaching MM60. Outside lane, right lane. I observed a gray Nissan Sentra passenger car bearing license plate number NV26D464, also headed eastbound in front of me, traveling in the inside left lane. I changed lanes and got in directly behind the gray Nissan. The gray Nissan continued to drive in the left-hand lane passing mile marker 61. It should be noted that along U.S. Highway I-40 eastbound from at least the Potter County line marker MM52, there are big white signs with black lettering on each side of the road stating left lane for passing only. These signs are clearly visible for east and westbound traffic along I-40 in Potter County. The gray Nissan had several opportunities to return to the right lane as he was not making a pass on any vehicle. The vehicle did eventually make a pass on a white Ford truck, but did not return to the right lane after he passed. I activated my red and blue emergency lights to initiate a traffic stop for the observed traffic violation. The Nissan signaled with their right side marker and pulled over to the right shoulder of the highway near mile marker 61. From the rear, I could only observe the top portion of the driver's head, and the driver had left the right turn marker on. Due to extended radio traffic at the time of the stop, I was unable to notify dispatch of the traffic stop at the exact moment. I approached the passenger side of the car, and once the passenger window was rolled down, immediately I could smell a very strong odor of burnt marijuana emitting from the vehicle. I observed a male subject in the front passenger seat with his position reclined to a point I did not realize he was in the car until I made contact. I made the male driver aware of the traffic violation and explained that he cannot be driving in the left lane unless he was passing other vehicles. The driver immediately advised that he was sorry and they were not from around here. I further explained that there are several posted signs indicating this. The passenger stated, I'm a rapper. The driver stated, I read the sign. I didn't know what that means. The passenger stated, if I was driving, I would have known. I asked the driver for his driver's license and insurance for the vehicle. The passenger advised that the car was a rental and he handed me his driver's license. The driver's license of the passenger indicated the rental agreement and again asked the driver for his ID card or a driver's rental agreement. The driver told me his name was Justin and I asked him to exit the vehicle and come to my patrol unit so I could gather his information and complete paperwork. It should be noted that both occupants appeared to be nervous and talking fast and over each other. The passenger attempted to make a phone call and asked if he could switch over to drive. I told him to give me a minute. Justin exited the vehicle and sat in the front passenger seat of my unit. Justin immediately asked about the violation, and I again explained to him about the posted signs. Left lane for passing only. I observed the passenger, Jason, climb over from the passenger seat into the driver's seat. The original driver, Justin, was fully identified as Justin Guy Scott Letter, BMDOB 05/29/1990. Justin advised that his license was suspended for tickets. I was able to notify dispatch of my traffic stop and gave them the information for both of the occupants and also requested a criminal history report for both of them. Justin advised that they were traveling from Vegas to Houston and that he was helping him drive. I asked Justin how long he had known Jason, and he stated a couple of years. Justin advised he was at his auntie's house in Vegas. Jason was supposed to do a show in Vegas, and he came with him to Houston so he wouldn't have to go by himself. Justin advised they both live in California. Their story for the original destination and reason for travel did not make sense. Dispatch notified me via MDT that Jason had an extensive criminal history for weapons-related offenses. I requested for an additional unit to meet me at my location. By looking on the GPS on my MDT, I knew my closest backup was far off. It should be noted while speaking with Justin, his demeanor was calm, but his speech was rapid, and I had to have him repeat himself several times in order to write it down correctly. I asked Justin, where did they rent the car? And he stated, I'm not sure. I then asked who rented the car, and Justin stated, you got to ask him. I'm not even sure. I observed Justin to become more restless as I asked questions about their travel and the rental car. At times, Justin would scratch at his beard, wipe down his shirt, mess with his shorts, fidget his hands and arms. I asked Justin if there was anything illegal in the car. He advised no. I advised him that I was not concerned with any weed under 2 ounces, and he stated no. We had one blunt in Vegas. Ain't nothing in there. I then informed Justin that the car had an odor of marijuana. I asked if there was any guns. He stated, nah. I asked if there was any cocaine. He stated and chuckled, hell nah. I asked if there was any heroin. He stated, no, sir, nothing illegal. I asked if there was any large amounts of money, anything over $10,000. He stated, chuckled, probably over $100 in there. I asked Jason if Jason had anything illegal on him. Justin stated, no, sir. He don't got nothing. We just trying to make it to the show. No more, not a blunt of weed in there, no more. I advised Justin that I was going to search his car. I reapproached the vehicle on the driver's side because that is where Jason had moved to. I requested that he exit the vehicle so I could speak with him. Further, he complied. It should be noted that I could still detect a strong odor of burnt marijuana emitting from the vehicle. When I approached the second time, I advised Jason that I could smell weed in the car, and Jason stated, no, I got my weed card there. Is no more weed left. You can look around. I asked if there was anything else illegal in the car. Jason stated, no, hell nah. I asked if there was any guns. Jason stated, no. I patted the outer clothing of Jason for any weapons and had him stand in a ditch away from the vehicle. I advised dispatch that was going to start a vehicle search. I went to the driver's side of the car and observed an empty blunt cigar packaging on driver floorboard. I also observed fast food items and junk food items throughout the car. I pushed the trunk release button and proceeded to the trunk area. Upon opening the trunk, I observed a big black plastic trash bag with clothing inside. I also saw several pairs of shoes, clothing, and Adidas duffel bag with shoes. All these items were scattered throughout the trunk. On the left side, I observed a Pamper diaper box that was taped shut. It should be noted, the Pamper box had excessive clear packaging tape to keep it shut. The tape did not appear to be that from the manufacturer. The bottom side had a different type of tape and not clear packaging tape. Throughout the handle holes on the side, it appeared to have the original contents of packaged baby diapers. I started by shuffling through the black trash bag with clothes and noticed them to be damp and had a slight odor of laundry detergent as if they were not being washed. I stopped and returned to my patrol unit and put on some latex gloves. I returned to the trunk and removed the trash bag onto the floor and examined contents further. I then reached in and grabbed a Pamper diaper box and felt it to be heavier than usual. I retrieved my pocket knife and cut the heavily clear tape on the top portion. Upon opening the box, I observed 2 individual packages of what appeared to be the original contents of diapers. I removed one of the package and noticed that package of diapers had been opened and only a few diapers in the package. Once I removed the package, I saw an open brown paper bag. Inside the brown paper bag was an open multicolored green, yellow, black plastic bag. Inside the colored plastic bag were a pile of clear Ziploc style bags with no contents. Once I shuffled the clear bags to the side, I observed a lot of large crystallized rocks. From my training and experience, the way these contents were concealed and the actual description of the rocks, I believed them to be methamphetamine. Due to my remote location, distance of my backup, and criminal history given on Jason, I drew my duty weapon. I instructed Jason to get directly on the ground. I pointed my finger at Justin and yelled for him to put his hands up. They both complied. I maintained a safe distance and advised dispatch that I had 2 suspects at gunpoint and needed backup quickly. I maintained my position until Deputy Parker arrived. Deputy Parker arrived and placed Jason in handcuffs. They were double locked and he was placed in a seated position and the left in the ditch. Deputy Parker and I went to Justin and he was asked to step out of my unit. He was placed in handcuffs. They were double locked. Justin was searched and placed in the rear of my patrol unit. Deputy Parker and I went and got Jason and escorted him to Deputy Parker's unit. He was searched prior to putting him in the rear of the patrol unit. I contacted Sergeant K. Brown with the Potter County CSU and advised him of the situation and would need his assistance. I placed the black trash bag of clothes back into the trunk. Deputy Sabadera and Deputy Byer were riding 2 men and they arrived. Deputy Byer drove the suspect car and I transported Justin and Deputy Parker transported Jason. Sergeant K. Brown and Deputy Lansbury would meet us at code 12421 as Bowie. We arrived at code 12 at 11:47 a.m. and I positioned my patrol unit directly behind the gray Nissan. I was met by drug enforcement agents who conducted an interview on both Jason and Justin. See his report for further. It should be noted, my body mic was placed in the break room where the interview was taking place, but I was not present during the interview. Justin was escorted to the break room and I removed the handcuffs. I left the break room and removed Jason from Deputy Parker's patrol unit and placed him in a chair outside of the patrol unit. I waited for Sergeant K. Brown to finish his initial photographs and then removed the Pamper diaper box containing the contraband and placed it on the counter. As I continued my search, Deputy Lansbury was assisting me in my search, and he advised that he had located 2 handguns near the front console area. See his report for further. Upon removing the items from the trunk, I observed a piece of mail in the trunk that had the name Jason Jackson. I removed the left side rear quarter panel piece in the trunk and observed 2 muscle shirt tank tops crammed in the neutral void. The shirts were damp and had an odor of laundry detergent. From my training and experience, the damp clothes with detergent in a black trash bag and in the neutral void is a common way to mask odors of illegal contraband. No other contraband was located in the vehicle. Potter County Dispatch advised that the 2 handguns were located in the handcuffs were removed and he was interviewed by DEA. After the interview, both Jason and Justin were re-secured in handcuffs, double locked, and Jason was placed in the rear seat of my patrol unit and Justin was placed in the rear front seat of my patrol unit. It should be noted, from the time of the traffic stop until my arrival at the Potter County Detention Center, my car and video camera and mic were recording. Deputy Lansbury stayed with the gray Nissan for inventory and towing purposes. and I transported both subjects to jail. Jason was booked for possession of controlled substance, PG1, 400G, and because of his status of a convicted felon, he was also charged with unlawful possession of firearm by felon. Justin was booked for possession of controlled substance, PG1, 400G, and theft of firearm. Justin was also issued a written citation, 38766, for traffic violation, left lane not passing, and a written warning for driving with suspended license. Justin acknowledged and signed the citation, and a copy was placed in his property. Sergeant K. Brown notified me and advised the methamphetamine weight was 4.2 pounds. They both individually stated they were tired and appeared to be physically exhausted when I left. Both individuals were left in the care and custody of the Potter County detention staff. It should be noted that later on this date, I was able to review my in-car video system. There is 3 in-car camera views in my patrol unit 2172. One view is the dashboard view facing forward. Second is the view of the individual sitting in the front passenger seat, and third view being in the passenger side back seat. I also have in-car audio recording. As I stated, my search of the vehicle, 1106, Justin's demeanor was calm, relaxed, and he sat back in the seat just to remain this way even as I entered the trunk and searched throughout the black trash bag. Almost immediately, when I grabbed the Pamper diaper box, Justin's eyes opened immediately wide, and he became nervous. He started to look back and forth toward Jason and me. His breathing became heavy and fast-paced, even to a point you could hear him on the audio. About the time I start to get into the diaper box, Justin can be seen becoming extremely nervous compared to his previous demeanor. By opening his mouth, moving his head around quickly, and making an uneasy facial expressions. Later in the car video, 1235, prior to transporting both of them to jail, Jason makes the statement to Justin, "Damn, bro, we slipped up. We fucked up, really. But we can't talk in here. We messed it up. I have nothing further to report at this time." Supplement. Potter County Sheriff's Office, supplemental narrative. My name is Dustin Lansbury. I have been employed by the Potter County Sheriff's Office since June 2008. I was commissioned as a certified Texas peace officer in March 2011. Upon completion of the Panhandle Regional Law Enforcement Academy in Amarillo, Texas, I am currently assigned to work regular traffic patrol as the canine handler of a single-purpose narcotic detection canine named Paris. The office is located at 608 S. Pierce in Amarillo, Texas. My duties are regular traffic enforcement as well as being on call for narcotic detection with canine. Over my years of employment at the Sheriff's Office, I have attended many in-service trainings and trained with my canine on a regular basis, and I am certified with her. I train with marijuana, methamphetamine, cocaine, MDMA, heroin, and derivatives of them on a regular basis while training with Paris. I have attended classes on interview, advanced vehicle searches, and interdiction. I train with the Regional Canine Training Group every month that is sponsored and taught throughout Amarillo. On June 28, 2016, at approximately 11:22, I completed a traffic stop on Interstate 40 and went to check on Deputy Gwynn at his stop on I-40 at approximately mile marker 61. I arrived at his location and was informed that he had 2 subjects in custody and was going to transport them to the Potter County maintenance shop at 421 S. Bowie in Amarillo. I left the scene and went to maintenance shop to set the chairs up in the Bay Area in room for interviews. I met with Sergeant K. Brown at the scene. Deputy Gwynn and other officers arrived. Shortly after, I assisted with the vehicle. When Sergeant K. Brown had finished taking pictures of the interior, I began searching it further. I could clearly smell the odor of marijuana in the vehicle and was advised that other officers had to. I began searching in the front passenger compartment. I went to the center console area and noticed the plastic on the side was loose. I removed the plastic to look for narcotics and weapons that had been hidden in that area before. Once the panel was separated on one side, I looked in behind the center console and could immediately see 2 handguns in the void. Both of them were accessible from the driver's seat and passenger seat. I had Sergeant Brown take pictures of the weapons and remove them at his discretion. On the first gun I picked up was a Smith & Wesson 40 caliber with serial number PBY 8193. I picked this gun up with a finger on the front side post and one on the underside of the gun. I placed it on the seat for Sergeant Brown, where he took custody of it. The second gun was facing in a different direction, and I couldn't grab the front of it. The second gun was identified as a Wilson Combat 45 caliber with serial number WT18329. I grabbed it by the rear sights and the upper portion of the rear grip. I placed it on the seat, turning it over to Sergeant Brown. I had dispatch run both guns to see if they were stolen. Dispatch advised they were confirmed stolen. The first gun was out of Beverly Hills Police, and the second was Sacramento Police. I informed Sergeant Brown of this. I did not find any further contraband that hadn't already been documented or found. Once the vehicle was processed, Deputy Gwynn transported the suspects to the Potter County Detention Center while I had the vehicle impounded to be returned to the rental agency. I filled out a vehicle inventory form identifying miscellaneous clothing items in the trunk along with shoes and other miscellaneous items throughout the car. The suspects kept what was on them to take to the detention center, and everything else was left in the vehicle. T. Miller arrived on scene and took custody of the vehicle. Nothing further at this time. Deputy Lansbury, Dustin, number 14416-28-16. Supplemental. Potter County Sheriff's Office, Supplemental Narrative, 16-08831. On June 28, 2016, I was assigned to second shift uniform patrol for the Potter County Sheriff's Office with Deputy Saavedra in Unit 1992. The audio and video was working properly at the start of shift. There is audio and video of the incident. At approximately 1100 hours, I was dispatched to assist with Deputy Lansbury on a traffic stop. While en route to Deputy Lansbury location, Detective Gwynn advised he had two at gunpoint. I responded, Code 3, lights and sirens, to assist Deputy Gwynn. As I approached I-40 and Hope Road, Deputy Gwynn advised he had two in custody and did not need any further units. I then went to Deputy Lansbury location to assist him on his traffic stop. I returned to service and was advised to assist Deputy Gwynn in transporting a vehicle to the vehicle barn for processing. The vehicle is described as a 2016 Nissan four-door sedan, silver in color, bearing Nevada license plate 26D464 with the VIN number 3N1AB7AP3GL646152. I transported the vehicle to the vehicle barn while Deputy Saavedra returned to service in Unit 1992. While driving the vehicle to the vehicle barn, I could smell a strong odor of marijuana coming from the interior of the vehicle. I drove the vehicle into the vehicle barn, and CSU took custody of the vehicle. I left the scene and returned to service. Nothing further to report. Deputy Dennis Byer, 1627-0628-2016. Supplement. Potter County Sheriff's Office, Supplemental Narrative. On June 29, 2016, I dropped off item 9582 at the DPS lab in Amarillo. The item is a bag of crystal-like substance believed to be methamphetamine. Related to this incident, the item was assigned to DPS number AMA 1606-01524. Changes were made in the computer showing the item sent to the lab. At this time, I have nothing further to report. Sergeant K. Brown, 1323. Supplement. Potter County Sheriff's Office, Supplemental Narrative. On June 28, 2016, I was contacted by Deputy Gwynn on a narcotic seizure. Deputy Gwynn told me during a traffic stop he found some possible narcotics believed to be methamphetamine. I left the sheriff's office and drove to Code 12. Shortly after I arrived, Deputy Byer drove into the shop. The vehicle in question is a 2017 Sentra bearing Nevada license plate 26D464. I documented the vehicle outside and inside with overall photos to show condition and appearance. While I was documenting the inside of the vehicle, I could smell a strong odor of burnt marijuana. I finished documenting the vehicle and other deputies started searching. Deputy Gwynn Started in the trunk of the vehicle. There was a box of Pampers located on the left side of the trunk. I took photos while Deputy Gwynn opened the box and showed me a yellow plastic bag. Deputy Gwynn removed the bag and it was placed on the bench next to the vehicle. Deputy Gwynn continuing searching the trunk and nothing else was found. Deputy Lansbury called for photos. Deputy Lansbury was searching on the front passenger side of the vehicle. Deputy Lansbury found 2 pistols located under the dash in the middle of the vehicle. I documented the area where the pistols were found. Deputy Lansbury removed a pistol, and I documented the removal of the pistol. The pistol were made safe and placed on a workbench next to the vehicle. The search was finished, and I started documenting the items found. The first pistol was a Smith & Wesson .40 caliber. The second pistol is a Wesson Combat 1911. Both of the pistols were ran through dispatch and found to be stolen. I documented a bag which was pulled from the diapers box with overall photos. There were 3 plastic Ziploc type bags inside the yellow bag. Inside the yellow bag was a crystal-like substance believed to be methamphetamine. There was a receipt in the brown paper bag under the yellow bag. The receipt was from Arden Fair Mall. All the items were placed into the brown bag, evidence bags, and secured in my patrol unit. I returned to the sheriff's office and all the items were booked in. The items were taken to the processing room and I started documenting item 9580 with overall photos. I removed the pistol from the brown evidence bag and documented it with overall photos to show condition and appearance. The pistol is described as a Smith & Wesson .40 with a loaded magazine. The serial number is PBY 8193. The magazine had 10 live rounds of ammunition. All the ammunition was Federal .40 Smith & Wesson. I processed the pistol and magazine for fingerprints and were unable to find any usable prints. The pistol, magazine, and rounds were placed into a pistol evidence box and sealed. I documented item 9581 with overall photos. I removed the pistol from the brown evidence bag and documented it with overall photos to show condition and appearance. The pistol is described as a Wilson Combat 1911 .45 caliber. The pistol also had an extended loaded magazine. The serial number is WCT 8329. The magazine had 10 live rounds of ammunition. The ammunition consisted of 7 RP 45 auto, 1 Blazer 45 auto, 1 Federal 45 auto, and 1 Winchester 45 auto. I processed the pistol and magazine for fingerprints and was unable to find any prints on the pistol. I did locate 1 usable fingerprint on the magazine of item 9581. I documented the latent on the magazine and then lifted the latent print. The latent will be entered into AFIS at a later time. The pistol magazine and rounds were placed into a pistol evidence box and sealed. I documented item 9582 with overall photos. I removed another smaller brown paper bag which contained the yellow plastic bag. I documented the yellow plastic bag and receipt with overall photos to show condition and appearance. I removed the 3 plastic Ziploc bags and used black fingerprint powder on them. I was unable to find any usable latent fingerprints. I emptied the contents from the yellow bag out onto a clean piece of brown butcher paper. I documented the contents with overall photos to show the condition and appearance. The contents are described as crystal-like substance believed to be methamphetamine. Presumptive testing with a Nartec kit produced a positive indicator for methamphetamine. I zeroed out a plastic evidence bag and the methamphetamine was placed inside and sealed. I noted the weight as 4.2 pounds. All the items were taken into the vault and secured. At this time, I have nothing further to report. Sergeant K. Brown, 1323. On June 29, 2016, the latent from item 9581 was entered into AFIS. At this time, no candidate list was produced. I will check the AFIS machine at a later date to see if a list has been produced. At this time, I have nothing further to report. Sergeant K. Brown, 1323. On June 29, 2016, I processed item 9593 by documenting the evidence as received. Item 9593 is described as an open Pampers diaper box with diapers. I documented the box with overall photos to show condition and appearance. I removed the diapers from the box. There was one unopened package and one open package for diapers. The box appeared to have been opened and retaped. I processed the box with black magnetic power. I documented the areas where I found some partial latent fingerprints. The latent fingerprints were lifted and placed on latent lift cards. After examining the latent fingerprints, they will not be entered into AFIS due to lack of quality and quantity of information. The print cards will be kept with the other latent found. The box was placed into a plastic tub and secured in its assigned area. At this time, I have nothing further to report. Sergeant K. Brown, 1323. Supplement. Potty County Sheriff's Office Supplemental Narrative. On June 29, 2016, I was conducting follow-up on IR 16-08831. I contacted Sergeant K. Brown, CSU, and informed him of my in-car video review. After watching Justin's reaction to my search of the diaper box, I asked if we had actual Pamper diaper box and the narcotics were contained in. He advised no. I returned to T. Miller record and was escorted to the gray Nissan. It should be noted that the vehicle was stored in an indoor facility. I observed the exact car Justin and Jason were traveling in and that I searched. I opened the trunk and observed the exact Pamper diaper box. I had retrieved the narcotics from the date prior. I was wearing latex gloves and I removed the box and brought it to the sheriff's office and placed it in the CSU lab for processing. From the time the initial traffic stop was conducted to the time the vehicle was impounded, Justin and Jason did not enter the trunk and touch the box. Any latent fingerprints Justin and Jason that may have been recovered from the box had to have been placed there on a time prior to the initial traffic stop. I also contacted Enterprise Rental Corp at 806-467-1610 because there was no rental agreement provided at the time of the stop. I was transferred to Escalation Support Coordinator Monda Cunningham. I gave Monda the license plate number of NV26D464. The vehicle that Justin and Jason were occupying had been rented to a Terrell Percy, date of birth 12/02/1986, 351st Street, Los Angeles, 310-406-6139. The vehicle was rented at Enterprise LAX with no additional drivers. It should be noted the individual, Terrell Percy, was not in the vehicle and not mentioned during the entire investigation. I have nothing further to report at this time. EOR Deputy Gwynn, 1521. Supplement. Potter County Sheriff's Office Supplemental Narrative. This is a follow-up supplemental to IR 16-08831. On July 13, 2016, I was reviewing calls made from Justin and Jason from the Potter County Detention Center using the GTL recorded phone system. Several calls were made and in one particular call labeled 310-227-410, comments were made about the incident. The male's voice on that particular phone call I recognized as Justin Scott Liedner. He was speaking to another unknown male subject, and comments were made at 10:10 and 12:35 in the recorded call about what we were getting caught with. Other comments were made within the phone calls that gave me reason to believe that Justin and Jason both knew of the illegal contraband that was in the vehicle. Jason made a phone call. It was also determined that Justin has an alias of Janky and Jason has an alias of Greedy. All calls made from both subjects from the time of booking to their departure was downloaded and burned to a disk. 2 copies were made of Justin's calls and 2 copies were made of Jason's calls. One of each of the copies were booked into evidence and the copy discs were taken directly to the DA's office because the file was too large to send via computer. A printed call log of each of the discs were also attached with the disc. I have nothing further to report at this time. EOR Deputy Gwynn, 1521. Supplement. Potter County Sheriff's Office supplemental narrative. 1. On June 28, 2016, Potter County Sheriff's Office PCSO Deputy Tim Gwynn stopped a 2017 Nissan sedan bearing Oklahoma registration 26464 on Interstate 40 in Potter County, Texas. The vehicle was driven by Jason Jamal Jackson, and the passenger was identified as Justin Guy Scott Leitner. During his contact, Deputy Gwynn recognized indicators of possible criminal activity and later performed a probable cause search of the vehicle. Subsequent to the search, Deputy Gwynn discovered approximately 4 pounds of methamphetamine inside the trunk of the vehicle. Deputies also discovered 2 loaded pistols inside the car as well. S.A. Reese responded to the scene later and interviewed Scott Leitner and Jackson. Following Miranda, Jackson admitted to agents that he was being paid approximately $3,000 to drive with Scott Leitner from California to Houston, Texas. However, Jackson stated that he did not know there was methamphetamine in the vehicle. Jackson stated that he felt there was something illegal taking place, but didn't want to know any details. Agents attempted to speak with Scott Leitner, but following Miranda warnings, Scott Leitner would not give any information regarding the methamphetamine in the vehicle and further requested an attorney. No other information was given, and the interview was later terminated. Agents note this case was presented to the AUSA's office out of the NDTX, and all federal prosecution was declined. Scott Leitner and Jackson were arrested on state possession charges and placed into the Potter County Detention Center without incident. All information has been disseminated to the respective offices. All drug and non-drug exhibits are maintained by the PCSO in Amarillo, Texas. On July 14, 2016, I, Deputy K. Simpson, entered this narrative into Potter County Sheriff's Office reporting system due to Special Agent S. Reese not having access to it. Deputy K. Simpson, number 1374, July 14, 2016. What you're seeing here is the vehicle number and stuff like that, license plates, and state out of Nevada, even though it's basically held by some type of holdings company out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. So there's that. It just says the comments on the bottom part, if y'all care about it. Occupants arrested and vehicle impounded with miscellaneous clothing items in it. Upon further review, the vehicle is gray in color. So there y'all go, man. Other than that, page 18 just talks about the property. The police petty, man. So they have Pampers on there, no value, none of that stuff or anything like that. They talk about how they had the guns and accumulated how much the pistols are actually, the money they actually had. It had about $780 on them. And then they had on the next page, they have the .45 caliber Wilson Combat and the owner. So there y'all go, bro. It's really nothing after this, but I appreciate you guys. This part right here is just talking about Scott Leitner and where they stay at and all that stuff. But there you go. I appreciate you guys. If you react to it, you react to it. If you can give me my credit, give me my credit. But other than that, Seti Nash, subscribe, turn on that bell to stay notified, and share to keep your people aware. I'm gone.